Good day, class. How's everyone doing today? Okay, great. Okay, I have a question for everyone here, and I'd like to see a show of hands. Can anyone tell me if you had an imaginary friend or made up an imaginary world when you were a kid and daydreamed about that? I'd like to see a show of hands, everyone. Oh, oh wow! Looks like everybody here has. Okay, me too. That was fun. I used to like doing that myself. Okay, well, as part regarding that subject, we are going to talk about this week the book Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. Who here has read that book? Let me see another show of hands. Okay, a few people have. Oh, you have? That's great. Okay, you too. Okay. Okay. John has, and Diane has read the book. Okay, that's great. Okay, well, thank you for sharing that with us. Okay, well, no problem. For those that have not read the book, we're going to read it this week, and the book of Alice's Adventures in Wonderland is about a young girl named Alice who goes to I guess you would say, a magical world, and she encounters characters such as a talking rabbit who's always in a rush, yelling things like, "Oh, I'm going to be late! I'm going to be late!" She encounters a caterpillar that likes to smoke a hookah. She meets a cat that can make itself invisible and likes to likes to smile, has a big smile, and it can only show its teeth when it's invisible. Um, but you will encounter these characters and more characters. Another character you'll encounter throughout the book is called the Queen, who gets upset very easily and likes to threaten chopping off people's heads if they disagree with her. But yeah, you'll encounter these characters and more as you read the book. So what I'm going to have you do is for at night for your homework, part of your homework assignment, you're going to read. I'm going to have you read at least a couple chapters at night, and this week I'm going to pair you up into groups of two, and you're going to discuss the book with your partner, and also I want you to share, what you thought thinking of the book, what you think is going to happen next in the book, in the next chapters, and also I'm going to ask you to kind of just, if you want, I would encourage you to write down on a piece of paper, like what you think your ideal Wonderland would look like, and share it with your partner, and so you have further things to discuss about that topic. And also, what we're going to do, kind of related to that subject about a magical world or a wonderland, later on in the week, I'm going to have you all participate in what's called an email chain story. And you're going to use whatever email application you feel comfortable with. I usually use myself Google or Gmail. And so what I'm going to do is I'm going to give everybody in the class a list of everybody's email. So it's going to be an email list. And I'm going to start off the email chain story, and I'm going to send the first person on that list it's going to be like one sentence, and it's going to say, once upon a time, there was a young girl who had a wild imagination. And then the only thing you have to do is add add a sentence to that, or if you like, a whole paragraph. And then what you're going to do, you're going to send your contribution and my original sentence to the next person on the list, and everybody's going to do that, so on and so forth, to the last person on the list is done, makes their contribution. And also I'm going to ask you to also just CC me or carbon copy me on every email you send to the next person on the list. Then after we're done with that, we're going to use what's called Google Document. It's like a Word. Who here has used who here has used Google Docs or like Microsoft Word? Let me see a show of hands. Oh, okay. Looks like a few of you have. Okay. Well, if you haven't, I will show you how to use this document. I will show you how to use Google Doc. But there's what I'm going to do is I'm going to take everybody's contribution to the email story, and I'm going to put them on that Google document. and I'm going to put your name, who's ever, I'm going to put the person's name who made that next to each contribution of the story. So then what you're going to all do, you're going to work collaboratively together as a group, the whole class. I want everybody to participate. There's a feature on there called suggested edits, and I want you to go through the story, everybody's contributions, and write what you think should be, what you think should be changed about that person's sentence, or if you think there's you think the grammar should be changed or the sentence structure. But I want you to put your ideas out there and so just go through the document and just put your suggestions down. And then what I'm going to do is I'm going to offer also my own suggestions. But this whole process for the email chain and the Google Doc portion the Google Doc portion will actually be part of your assessment. But the whole that assessment part with the Google Docs and the email chain exercise, I want that to take no more than like maybe 3-4 days. Then after that, after everybody's made their contributions of their edits, including myself, I'm going to have everybody get back with their partner that I originally put you with during this week, to discuss the book, Alice's Adventures in Wonderland. And I want you to collaborate with that person, and I want you to create a final draft of the story from the email chain. You can include everyone's suggested edits from the Google Doc, or you can add your own edits or any other types of sentences you think or paragraphs you think that will make the story more interesting. And also what I want you to do too is I want you to come up with a title for your final draft. So that's what I need you to, I would highly encourage you to do that. And then what I'm going to do at the end of this, that part of the assessment, I'm going to provide everybody with a Google form, and I'll show you how to use Google Forms. It's really easy. It's going to be a survey, just to see what everybody thinks of everyone's, the titles they contributed to their final draft, or their story. So I'm going to take a poll, and then take a poll, who thinks, whose story or titles are the most interesting. Do I have any further questions about what we're going to do this week, class? Okay. If not, well, we could get started. But yeah, if you have any further questions, please let me know. When you're in your groups, I will be walking around the room to help everyone. Yeah, let's get started.